Welcome to RVR Closet. Instead of my ordinary versus videos where I compared sequential shifters and H-pattern shifters, I got the request about doing pros and cons between sequential shifters and H-pattern shifters. So yeah, I thought I could tackle this by naming a few similarities and pros and cons and what kind of shifters there is that we can use for sim racing. We have mainly three different shifters to use. It's the paddle shifters that usually is mounted on the wheel or wheel rim. Press the right one to shift up or the left one to shift down. And then we have the sequential stick shifter, where you have a gear stick that you either pull back to shift up or push forward to shift down. And then it's also the H-pattern shifter that you put in the selected gear from 1 to 6 or 7 and also a reverse. So when it comes to pricing between the different shifters, they are pretty similar. There are cheaper alternatives of most of them, and you can go pretty high up in the price point depending on what brands and what shifter you are looking at. Paddle shifters often comes with the wheel rim itself, but there is also a few different kind of paddle shifters. You can have paddle shifters that you mount on the wheelbase itself, so it doesn't matter what kind of rims you have for your wheelbase. And there is also those push and pull rally paddles that you mount on only one side of the wheelbase. One difference is that there are quite a few different sequential shifters on the market. Way easier to find different sequential shifters than H-pattern shifters. We don't have that many H-pattern shifters to choose from. I guess H-pattern isn't as commonly used in sim racing as the other options, so that's a bit sad that we don't have more of those. Otherwise, it's really down to personal preferences and what you feel you are going to use the shifter for, what cars you mostly drive. If you only drive like GT cars or Formula cars, then all you need is paddle shifters. Some sports cars, and also common in like rallying, is the sequential stick shift. So if you drive those kind of cars, that would be the best option. And if you're like me that really loves driving old cars, then an H-pattern shifter is the preferred option. If we talk about like what it can do for your sim racing, what will be best for you if you are mainly focused on speed and being faster, then the paddle shifters are the best shifters. They are really fast action and you have them really close to your hands. Another pro is that you never need to let go of your wheel, which makes you more in control of the car and less prone to do mistakes. So for really focused, like competitive racers, the paddle shifters are the ones to get. Second would be the sequential stick shift, and they are also usually mounted really close to your wheel. You need to let go of your hand, but usually not for long periods of time, and pretty fast action shifters. And lastly, that makes you the slowest comparing the shifters are H-pattern. Then you both need to let go of the rim, and often it isn't mounted really close to your wheel rim, but maybe down at your thighs. And it also requires clutching, heel and towing, and gets a bit more complicated. It takes more time, it takes more effort to drive the car good with the H-pattern shifter. So yeah, that's the least preferable option if you're thinking about speed and competition. So yeah, that's really what it comes down to. If you are strictly a competitive racer, or if you're more like me, immersive driver, I'm all for the immersion and just having fun driving. So my top pick when it comes to shifters is always H-pattern before any of the other shifters. I just love going through the gears and clutching and heel and towing and all that, and also the old cars. After that is sequential stick shifter, just because it's involving letting go of the wheel and pushing and pulling a stick. For me it feels more engaging than just flickering the paddles with my fingers. So yeah, that's my take on different shifters. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.
Whispering ghosts are hiding in the closet. Little monsters under my bed. All my toys are starting to